Chapter 1. A gnarled, rough hand reached out for Dusk's midnight black cloak. She swatted it away with one of her daggers, its silver blade gleaming in the bioluminescent glow of lanterns filled with glowing flowers. The locals called them glowers, a nickname favored by the Night Court. But in truth, they were merely small, flower-like insects with radiant bodies. Her dagger scratched the hand, drawing a spray of blood. Dusk couldn't make out the attacker's face, but the rain of crimson on the scratched skin told her she'd left a mark. She dashed into the throng of Larendel's streets, the Night Court's busiest city, blending into the crowd as her pursuer had. She turned his tactic against him. Only when she'd run 100 yards and ducked into a narrow alley in the slums did she stop, certain she had shaken him. With practiced haste, she opened her bag to check her prize. Her heart sank. The orb, once faintly glowing and marble-sized, was gone. Damn, she muttered, scanning the bag again. It must have fallen out during the chase. Still, she felt it didn't belong in his hands. Frustrated, she made her way home. She'd have to study what little she remembered in the dusty library she loved so dearly. Later, she sat curled in an aged chair, a pile of old tomes in front of her. The air was thick with dust and time. The room felt untouched for centuries before she'd found it. From a shelf splintering with age, Dusk pulled a book and flipped through it. Nothing. She was about to discard it when a page caught her eye, an illustration of a glowing yellow sun over fields of gold. She studied the book for over an hour, noting uncanny similarities between this sun, as it was called, and the orb she'd lost. Restless, Dusk rose to open the window, staring out at the eternal night. She stood in the moonlit chamber, fingers brushing the hem of her cloak. The air smelled of old parchment and cold stone. The weight of centuries pressed down like a shroud. The library's silence had always drawn her, quiet knowledge echoing through forgotten shelves. Dreaming again? Came a teasing voice. Dusk turned. Alacia, her stepmother, entered, her dark hair streaked with gray, a soft shadow in the already dim room. She carried herself with regal confidence, a reminder of her royal bearing. "I'm not dreaming," Dusk replied sharply. "I'm studying." She gestured at the open book, its pages inked with sky maps and passages about the golden realm above. Alacia raised an eyebrow. "You always did have a fascination with the sky, especially that awful golden hue of the Day Kingdom." Dusk stiffened. "You don't have to remind me I don't belong here." "That's not what I meant," Alicia said, stepping closer. Her tone softened, though a familiar edge remained. "You're my daughter, Dusk. Biological or not, you're part of this family. Your father—" "Father's the reason I was taken in," Dusk interrupted. Her gaze dropped to the book, eyes blurring with emotion. A heavy silence filled the space, broken only by the flicker of lanterns. "You know that's not the whole truth," Alacia said quietly. "We didn't take you in to make you miserable. We thought we were saving you." "Saving me from what? The light?" Dusk laughed bitterly. "I've lived in shadows all my life. I can't imagine anything else. And now you think words will fix it? It doesn't work like that." Alacia placed a hand on her shoulder. "I know it's not simple, but this is your life. You are one of us, even if you don't feel it yet." The words were warm, but still sharp. Dusk turned away, heart aching. Part of her wanted to believe Alacia. But the shadows of the Night Court clung to her like a second skin, and the sun still felt like myth. "You should go back to the palace," she said. "You don't belong here." "And you do?" Alacia's voice was curious now. Dusk didn't answer. She stepped into the shadows of a dark hallway and disappeared. Moments later, she crept through the obsidian corridors. The stone was smooth and cold beneath her fingertips. When she was sure she was alone, she lit a torch, not for light, but for warmth. The flames flickered against the glassy walls. She placed her hand near the fire, and her skin drank in the heat. The flame dimmed. She didn't know why she could absorb heat, but she could. She'd read about illuminates, those who could store light from the stars or moon. Rare, and often cursed, even among the Night Court. She let the fire burn inside her, curious. Could she do more than just absorb heat? "I guess a little experimentation couldn't hurt," she whispered. She lit another torch, touched the flame, and again it dimmed. Heat surged into her body. Then she tried to release it. Nothing happened. Frustrated, she pressed her palms to the stone floor. Slowly, the warmth drained into the stone below. "By Dressel," she muttered, watching frost creep along the black floor. A grin touched her lips. A maid greeted her at her door with a hot towel and a letter sealed by her father. Probably worried I'm avoiding Lord Ferris, she thought. The next night, Dusk waited for her father to summon her to meet Lord Ferris. While she waited, she drew the curtains and resumed her experiments. Selecting a small volcanic heatstone, she cupped it in her palm. Nothing happened, until she lit a nearby torch. Then the warmth of the stone flowed into her. Interesting, she murmured. A knock came at the door. She stepped outside into fresh snow without a shiver. Unin, the family servant, frowned. Where is your robe, Lady Marilith? I must have misplaced it, she lied. Unin led her to her father's meeting chamber. The towering obsidian doors opened to reveal her father on his throne, but it was the man in the corner who drew her gaze. He wore dark robes embroidered with silver thread, a thin circlet on his brow. You may introduce yourself, her father said. The man bowed. I am Lord Aralam. Your father has told me much about you. I thought I was to meet Lord Ferris, Dusk said. Lord Ferris has taken ill, her father replied. Lord Aralam is your new suitor. Her eyes narrowed, but she said only, then so be it. That night, in her quarters, Dusk studied a hidden map. Between the blinding realms of Solera and the dark dominions of Nox lay the Everdawn, sacred, forbidden, and it was from there the orb had come. She could still feel its warmth inside her. Not just heat, but something older, something alive. When she drew power from a candle and stone again, a vision came, fields of gold, a sky of impossible colors, and a symbol, a sun and moon intertwined. A knock pulled her from the trance. Your father requests you attend the midnight vigil, Unin called. She looked back at the map. The orb may be lost, but the vision had not left her. It was calling her to the Everdawn, and something deep in her blood told her the sun was not her enemy. Not anymore. Not if she could uncover what the light was hiding.